What's up, everybody? It's Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. Welcome to another episode of Speaking with Judgment, hosted by the sports judge. I know it's been a minute since I've done the show, but if you guys been following the page, you guys been seeing that I've been very active. Uh, you know, posting videos and talking about sports, giving you guys my short takes and my analysis on sports. But tonight I'm back with a full hour of great content for you guys, and I'm joined by my good friend, Coach Dante. It's always a pleasure to have Coach Dante on the show. And I just want to thank everyone before we get going. I just want to thank everyone out there for riding with us tonight. For
Yep.
taking the time of your night to watch this show. I see Mo is in the building. What's going on, Mo? How you feeling tonight, man? I hope it's cool where you guys are at. I know in Texas it gets a little sticky
Yeah.
out there. It gets humid. Here we're dealing with humidity, and it's heating up here in Southern California. Our summer has officially arrived. It's been sunny, but it's been hot as hell, and we're living through it. We're surviving it, but hope everyone's well. Coach Dante, tell everyone how you feeling tonight. How's things down in Texas for you?
Hey man, things down in Texas good. Other than that, it's hot. It's hot out here. So, you don't want to. If you're not a fan of the sun, you don't want to be in Houston right now. But I'm ready, man. Let's do it. I'm ready to get into it.
I'm ready too. I'm ready too because, like I said, it's been a while, and we got some great topics for you guys tonight. Now I know this is the slowest time on the sports calendar. There's not much happening in the month of July other than baseball. Baseball's on a brief break right now as well after the All Star break. But we're gonna talk about this NBA anti flopping policy. We're gonna get into that. We'll dive into that. Will it work? And I'm going to give you guys my reasons why I don't think it will work. You guys might have heard my video last night. The Spurs shut down Wembanyama. I think that was a good idea. We'll get into that as well. And coach, we're also gonna dive into MLB storylines to keep an eye on going into the second half of the season. But I think we'll save that for the end of the show. And then we're gonna talk about Damian Lillard forcing his way to Miami. We'll get into that too. But first, we're gonna get into this NBA anti-flopping policy. Um, is it a good rule to implement? Sure. Will it work? That's a different story. I don't think this rule will work for the NBA because for one, you're putting it in the hands of the officials, and we all know how biased these referees can be. We all know how inconsistent these refs are, how incompetent they are. And that's why I don't think it's going to work. Now, I know why they put this rule in place. I understand why now because look, flopping is ruining the game. Flopping is going on a lot in the NBA. It's a lot of players flopping. Flopping is to me the most embarrassing thing in the NBA. It should be banned from the NBA, but it's hard to regulate these kind of things. A lot of these players nowadays, they want to be actors and not basketball players. And I feel like the league has done a good job over the years handing out Academy Awards for players who flop. Uh, it's basketball. It's not acting. If you wanted to take on a career in acting, you should have went to drama classes, got a degree in drama, because this is not the place to flop. And it all starts, I know, with LeBron James because he is the godfather of flopping. But James Harden does it as well, and there's a number of other players that's guilty of flopping as well. Uh, a lot of these all-star players flop. And the refs, decide who they're going to call it on or who they're not going to call it on. I mean, we see a lot of that in today's NBA. So I don't think this rule is going to work. If you're going to implement this rule, you got to be consistent with it. And I just don't see that happening. I don't think this will work. I talked a little bit about it yesterday. okay, it's great. You want to try it out. You want to test out a new rule to crack down on flopping. Flopping has become so common over, like I said, over the past 20 years that it's part of the culture. And the league has finally decided, after all these years, to make an attempt to minimize flopping, to cut down on guys flopping all over the court. I mean, this is why this league, and I know I'm going on and on here, but this is why this league has become a watered down league, because you see it constantly in the NBA. But I mean, is there a potential for this flopping policy to be effective? Again, it ultimately lies in the hands of the NBA refs. And if this is going to be another rule that the officials enforce for, let's say, just the first couple of weeks of the regular season, then suddenly just forget about it, then it's obviously doomed to fail. It's doomed to fail. What are your thoughts on this? I'm all for change. I'm all for you instituting a rule that can be for the betterment of the game. But again, I just don't see this working, because I'm not sure if the refs will see this through. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. I think I gotta wait till the season to start before I can see it work, because we already had a flopping penalty in the summer league. I did the game, my Rockets versus the Warriors, and congratulations to my Rockets. They in the summer league semifinals. Already a good start to Coach Sullivan and Ime Udoka, the young guys out there. But the flop rule had they looked at it. It's one free throw plus the ball. But I would say, like, and if you're down in the game, or if the game tight, that's one thing we need to look at that rule. We need to watch out for that rule, because that can affect a lot of games if the game go down a stretch and you're even thinking about putting up a flop. I think that's one scenario that will come into play. I will have to wait till the regular season start to even give them a judgment on them, but it has some potential to hurt, especially when a game goes down an actual stretch. When it does go down an actual stretch and then you flop, that's one free throw and plus the ball. So that's a possession. You get a free throw, and plus you have a chance to get a 4-point play or a 3-point play up out of that. It can hurt down the stretch. So I would say it has potential to work. But other than that, I just have to wait till the regular season start to see if they're going to keep being consistent with this rule. I think that's one thing. You have to be consistent with this rule. Flopping is really hurting the game, especially I like the way they did that, transition. They did the transition one. When you turn the ball over, or when you get the rebound and you stop a fast break, basically, they get you one free throw on the ball. So I like to see both of them keep that rule consistent, but it does have potential to hurt, and it depends on down the stretch in games.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with me. I think the easiest decision by the NBA is not to call all these reactions flops by the players, right? Because look, like I said moments ago, over 95% of these calls are from flopping. It's not actual fouls all the time. I mean, let them play through it. Let them play through it. But I mean, I don't see how this is going to change much, because I feel like players like LeBron James, James Harden are going to get away with it. Why I say that is because you want to see your best product on the floor. You want your best product on the floor. And if it's not going to apply to everyone, then you might as well not enforce this rule. Why even come up with it in the first place? I know it's going to have its missteps at first, and it's going to create a lot of controversy, because I can just see it being chaos the first week the NBA season starts. I can see a lot of these calls happening. I can see a lot of these players being upset with the officials. There's going to be a lot of complaints. There's going to be a lot of people talking about this. There's going to be a lot of articles written about it. I mean, I don't know. I guess the rule has its pros and cons, but I guess you can say, just from listening to me, I'm not really a fan of this rule, and I just don't see how much it's going to change the game. I don't see it. You can't sell this. Like I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. The NBA players are clearly they're the softest athletes of any sport, and again, the flopping happens more often than not, and you're still going to have players flopping to try to see if they can beat the system. That's just the way it's going to be. They will enforce this, right? And they will blow the whistle, which will lead to a lot of stoppages. There will be a lot of reviews. That will slow down the game of basketball. Then you're going to have people complaining about the game. The game's being too long. Or, there's too much delay. The game is just slower than what it was before. So, I mean, this rule has its pros and cons to it. And, it's going to either make a change or it's going to for the better or for the worse. I just don't know how you can regulate flopping, and I just don't know how much this rule will make that much of a difference.
Yep, man, I agree. I definitely can agree. But like I say, at the end of games, I think he can somehow kind of hurt a little bit at the end of games. I just want to see him be consistent with it. That's all.
Dustin says, I love this rule because it will expose LeBron for what he is, a human flopper. True, but Dustin, will they call it against him all the time? That's my biggest question, right? Because LeBron is the handsome face of the NBA. And LeBron a lot of times get his way. There's a lot of times that calls go in his favor. There's a lot of times he gets away with things. And so I'm wondering with the inconsistencies of these refs and sometimes how they miss calls, will he be getting off for a lot of these flops? See, that's the big thing right there. So, I mean, it's the wait and see game. We'll just have to wait and see how it all, pans out when the NBA season starts. And I guess it's worth a try. I guess it's worth the try. Judgment. What's up, everyone? Thanks for watching. Key is watching as well. What's up? What's up? She says, what's up, Jonathan and Dante? Thanks for watching. But Coach Dante, we're gonna get on with the show. We're gonna dive into Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
I'm still learning his name. I'm getting better at it each day. I've been looking it up on the internet and trying to pronounce it each day to know to be able to pronounce it right next time around. It's been challenging for me. I'm not really good with names, but I'm doing the best I can. But hey, you know what? I can't say Wemby. I mean, that's easy to say, right? That's easy to pronounce. But anyway, the Victor Wembanyama Wemby Summer League experience is over, as we all know. The Spurs decided that they would shut him down, and now the Spurs can breathe a sigh of relief. I guess South Texas has let out a giant shy of relief when Victor Wembanyama ended his playing time at the Las Vegas Summer League. Soon to return to San Antonio, where he will finally spend a little bit more time by himself, get to learn the city, get acclimated to, things and everything. What are your thoughts about this?
First of all, I thought Big Vic, I call him Big Vic. So other than that, that's the name that Mo came up with for us. So I'm gonna call him Big Fit. I'm gonna call him Big Vic. You know, so I got a lot of nicknames for these players. Like if you Karl Anthony Towns is Mr. No Show. I don't call him Karl Anthony Towns. He's known for Mr. No Show. And Jimmy Butler's Jimmy Two Shoes. But we on Big Vic at this point. But Big Vic, I thought he handled himself very well in the second game. I thought second game he did a really good job. I think the first quarter started off the same way he played in the Charlotte game. When he was playing a little bit soft, but he was also getting acclimated into the game. One thing he's going to have to learn when he gets into the NBA, once he's getting into the NBA, he's going to have to build up some upper body strength, because he's not going to, when you're going up against guys like Rudy Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns, Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, when you're going up against guys like that, he's not going to be able to post up. He's not going to be able to turn his back to the basket or post up. So a lot of his damage is going to have to be facing up, and he's going to have to hit that jump shot consistently. He's not really a great shooter. He shoots 28% from downtown. So if he can make that percentage go up to 30 and hit the mid-range to at least 35, if he can hit the mid-range jump shot, that would be huge for him. He's going to be a guy that's going to be tall. He's going to be able to block shots. He's going to be able to block shots. If he gets a mismatch upon him, like someone like a Kevin Durant, he's going to be able to get a good contest because he does have an 8-foot wingspan. So he's going to be able to recover a lot because of that wingspan and that length. But when he gets the ball, he's going to have to learn how to get the rebound. When he gets the rebound, he's going to have to learn how to keep the basketball up, because he has the tendencies of bringing it down. And once you bring that ball down, guys are going to be down there stripping. He had a problem with that throughout the first 2 games. That's something he needs to learn when he gets in the NBA. And in the NBA, he's not. I don't think he's that good of a dribbler from what I've seen. In the NBA, you got guys that's going to press up on him. You got guys that's going to press up on him. Is going to be gone down there getting the basketball. So he's got a lot of improvements to go. He's going to be a great defender. I'm going to tell you this. He's going to be on an all defensive team. He's going to get he should at least get by at least 10 rebounds per ball game. I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to say he's going to be at least a 17 point per game score and a double-digit rebound guy, and he's going to have a lot of blocks at the rim, just depending on the matchup that he got to go against, because you got to put him at the 5. You put him at the 4, that's more. You don't want him coming out of the paint. You don't want him coming out of the paint. You want him in the paint. You want him in the paint where he can keep guys up out of the paint and where he can block shots. If you got him on a perimeter, then the paint is going to open up. So he's going to be playing the 5 ball. I don't believe he can play the 3 because he's not natural quick enough. That's going to put him in a lot of mismatches and stuff like that. But I thought he had it kind of himself the second game, especially with the shot making, with the rebounding and the block shots. Even when he wasn't, the thing I like about him, he was so poised. Even that first game when he was missing shots, you were still seeing him block shots. You were still seeing him being a playmaker too. So I like that about him. So he shows a little sign of showing no frustration, doesn't get right. But I think this is a good job of them noticing, hey, we got to save him. We can't have him to get hurt. He's going to be our day one guy. So I kind of like, and you starting seeing a lot of these stars, these teams pulling out these stars, and seeing enough of these guys. So yeah, I thought he had a big account of himself in that second game. I thought he bounced back, and I think it's the right job to shut him down.
Yeah, let's get to some of our commenters here. Doug is in the building. Doug says, gentlemen. Dustin says, here is an easy pronunciation for you. When Ben Yam. See, I knew I was going to butcher it somewhere. Dylan says, what's good? Mike says, good sir. What's up, Mike? Mike is watching as well. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. After his first game, when he made his debut in the Las Vegas Summer League, everyone was beating up on Victor Wembanyama after having a bad night in his debut. He scored 9 points, I believe, in that game. But he had 5 blocks, which was very impressive to me. Yes, he did get posterized by K. Jones. I believe it was K. Jones who posterized him. He put him on a poster.
Yeah, it was Kai Jones. His name is Kai.
You know what? That kind of stuff is gonna happen, especially when you're a young player. He's only 19 years old. I mean, we got to give the kid a break. I even said this. I mean, he's still learning this league. You know, it's a different league for him. You know, he's getting a feel for things. And I think even though it was a small sample size because they decided to shut him down, I still think there's a lot of promise. You know, there's a lot of people ready to label him a bust, saying that he is not made for the NBA. Stop it. Stop it. He hasn't played 1 minute in the NBA. He hasn't really played against grown men yet. Let's see how he produces when the games really matter. When he's playing against veterans and grown men that's been in the league for a long time, then we can pass judgment. Then we can say, well, I think he doesn't have the potential. But when you look at this guy's game, when you look at his wingspan, when you look at his ability to block shots and to be effective, particularly and aggressive on the defensive end of the floor, I mean, this kid can be amazing, and I think he will. I think he is a generational talent. I think it's too early to write him off and to classify him as a bust, to even put him in the class with players who became busts in this league. That is utter nonsense. People are you know, speaking too soon about this kid. Give him a break. Let's see if he can shine. I mean, I think the Spurs chose him at number 1 because they believe in him. They know he has the potential. And here's another thing, coach. He's playing on a team that knows how to develop young players, that basically knows how to take top draft picks and turn them into superstars. We saw it with Tim Duncan. We saw it with David Robinson. This is a team that has enjoyed great success with generational talents and with international superstars. And I think looking at Victor Wembanyama and his size, I think he fits in quite well with the Spurs. I think he can help bring back this team to relevance. And I think he will have a long-lasting impact on the Spurs. Just give it time, you know, sit back, enjoy the ride, because it's gonna take some time. But I think he's a prized rookie, and he's gonna suffer some growing pains. That just happens. But we're overreacting over how he performed in one game in a meaningless summer game. I mean, that's just utter nonsense to me. Without question, I think Popovich was happy to see Wembanyama in his second game and how he was able to respond to all his critics and all those people who were already saying he was a bust.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I think Big Vic, I think he's gonna be fine. If there's anybody you want to develop on and that knows how to develop, is Popovich, Greg Popovich. You look at when he got the number 1 pick, who he drafted, Tim Duncan. You looked at how great he became. Also, David Robinson. So the Spurs have the tendencies to draft well. Not only Big Vic, you had Devin Vassell, who's a really good player over there. Kelvin Johnson, who averaged 18 points per game. You had Jeremiah Sohan over there as well, who's a very good player, and a very good defensive player. So they got some very good talent up on there. It's also he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be a bust in the league, but it's also, Summer League. We can look at Summer League and say it's not as important as well, but it also, you got other teams there, you got other players there and stuff like that. And they also going to be looking at Big Vic and looking at his flaws too, and how he plays as well. So you can get a lot out of the page of Summer League as well, because you got guys that's fighting for two-way contracts. You got guys that's trying to make their way in the NBA as well. So Summer League is definitely important for these guys to see where they're at, and especially some of these draftees that comes out this year. So he's got flaws in his game, and I think Coach Popovich is going to definitely put him in some situations where he can get some mismatches on the block and stuff like that. But he's definitely going to have to strengthen up his upper body, because I don't believe he's going to be able to post up in the paint. How small he is, body frame he is. I believe most of his damage is going to come face up, or at least getting a right mismatch and stuff like that, or coming off an offensive rebound. But he's definitely that jump shot. I will be waiting on. That is kind of key to his game to unlock his game.
I think the only major concern with Wembanyama is fatigue. He said it himself how exhausted he was. So that's something to look out for. That's something to pay close attention to. He's going to have to build up his endurance. He's going to have to probably, like you said, work on his upper body strength.
Oh, Freddie wants the link. Freddie wants you to send him a link.
Oh, he's gonna have to gain some pounds. He's gonna have to pick up a little bit of weight, I think. And if he does that, I think he'll be in good shape. I think he already is in good shape. I think people just made too much of his first game, a game that doesn't count. And I understand Summer League is like an addition. You're auditioning. You're going out there, you showcasing your talent in front of the world. Scouts are looking at you. Coaches are watching you. They're seeing what they have in a player. And I think the reason they shut him down is because they wanted 2 good games. You got 1 bad game out of him. You got 1 terrible performance, and you got 1 that was very encouraging. So I think now they see they got a small sample size. They got enough. They can really see what they can work on. Now they know what they need to focus on with Wembanyama. They know his weaknesses, they know his strengths, they know what he needs to do better in the gym. And I think it all will come in time.
Yeah, I sent Freddie the link, but I think he's gonna be fine. I don't think it's no concerns. About it. But I think, like I say, I'm gonna say it is some concern. I think it's something he can. Most of his concerns, something that he can actually work on. So again, I think Coach Popovich is gonna put him in some good situations to get him some mismatches, but he does gonna have to work on that jump shot. That's gonna elevate his game even more, and that's gonna keep defensive honest. He's definitely got to improve his jump shot. His jump shot was 28% from the 3, and he's got to have better shot selection as well. Even though he's 7'4", he can get that shot off at any time, but he's definitely going to have to improve on his shot selection. So that's the one thing that that I want to see him knock down during the regular season is the jump shot, because that will really make him a lot tougher to guard.
Indeed, it would. What's up, man? We got my main man. We got my good friend Freddie. Man, he is on this show now. What's going on, Freddie? Thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Fred.
Right, loud and clear.
What's going on, everybody? Just had to make an entrance to the show. I see my dude Big Doug in the comments. Hey, Jonathan, can I ask you a question? I want to ask a question. Have you seen anybody that works harder in this media industry than Coach? Please tell me anybody. I need to know somebody. Tell me somebody.
No, I think his work ethic is unmatched. I think it's immeasurable, and I don't think anyone can compete with him at this point. It's if you want the true definition of grind, like I said before, it's Coach Dante. You're looking at him at the top of the screen.
Man, we're blessed over there at the Sports Empire Network to have a guy like him. I tell you. But what we talking about tonight? I don't even know what we're talking about.
Hey, by the way, Fred, you did a good job of hosting that debate show. You did a hell of a job, man.
I appreciate you, man. It was tough. What we talking about tonight?
We got some NBA stuff going on here, man. We've got plenty of NBA stuff on the docket, actually. We just talked about Wembanyama, the Spurs shutting them down, and how people were bashing on him after one bad game, and then he turned around and had an incredible performance to shut a lot of people up. So we were talking about that, and then we also talked a little bit about the new flopping policy that's been put into place in the NBA, and I kind of weighed in on it and said I don't like it that much because I think it's going to, create more controversy. It's going to be a lot of game stoppages, and they're going to pick and choose who they want to call the flopping foul on or who they want to penalize and all that. So that's basically what we've been sitting here talking about.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, because we all know LeBron flops. We know it. I mean, it's facts. But we all know the refs isn't going to throw him out of the game. Like, will it get to a point where they're going to throw him out the game? No. And let's just be honest. If the refs learn how to swallow their whistles and stop calling these flops, then we wouldn't have a problem. We wouldn't have a problem in the get-go if the refs stop, because the refs can control the game. So, yeah, this is all on the refs.
It's all on the refs. And now you give what you do, you give the refs more power. And I would think if you're the NBA, you want the refs to have less power, right? Because this is more about the players. Now you have the refs dictating the outcome of the game. And it could come down to a game where, let's say if a referee is pissed off and he is biased towards a player and he decides to call this flopping penalty on him, the dude gets ejected from the game because he's mad about what he said to him earlier. That changes the whole dynamic of the game. I can see that happening. That would be crazy if that happens.
Can you pull Key's comment up? Yes, Key, I'm on here. I'm trying to emulate Coach Dante. I'm trying to be the hardest working man in the building. So, yes, I'm on.
You are one of the hardest working men in the building.
Yeah, just behind the scenes. You know, I'm not blessed to be like Coach Dante, man, to be on a lot of the shows. So I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, though.
Coach Dante's doing his stuff. And then we talked about, I don't know if you want to touch on Wembanyama as well, Freddie. What are your thoughts on him?
Man, that kid is blessed, bro. I mean, just think about it. You couldn't get drafted to any better situation than this kid got drafted to. I'm not worried about him. And you know what? Forget all the haters. Forget all the people that's talking crap. You will eat those words later. Just think about it. I believe Greg Popovich was on the verge of retiring. I really do believe that. I believe the Pop was going to hang it up because he had nothing to coach. But until they got the number one pick, we seen that Pop change his mind. He's going to a great system. He's going to a great organization that have had great talents. We've seen what he did to David Robinson, the Tim Duncans, the Ginobilis, the Tony Parkers, the Kawhi Leonards, and just many more guys. So he's blessed to go to an organization. It's not like he's going to Detroit. It's not like he's going to Philadelphia. He's not going to these basement franchises. Yes, Key, I said Philadelphia. A team that's been irrelevant for 40 plus years that has not done anything but trust the process. Just saying.
Trust the process. That I agree with that. We got to sit back and see what this young man can do. And then our next topic, we're going to get into Damian Lillard, because Damian Lillard, after all these years, he was loyal in Portland, right? Didn't ask for a trade, didn't want out, said that he didn't want to be a part of a super team. Now all of a sudden he wants out, but he wants to be picky and choosy on where he goes. He wants to tell the Portland Trailblazers where he want to go. And I'm like, no, bro, it don't work like that. You under contract. They can send you out of the country like the Spurs did with Kawhi Leonard if they really want to. If the right pieces are there, and if the right package come along, don't think the Spurs would do something. I mean, the Portland Trailblazers would do something like that because it's in the best interest of the team. It's not what you want. It's what's convenient for the team. And at the end of the day, Portland's going to do what's best for them, not necessarily what's best for Damian Lillard, now that he's crying that he wants out. Now, I respect Damian Lillard. I think he's a hell of a good player. He's one of the best players that the game has ever seen. He's reinvented the logo shot. He's part of the reason we have the logo shot, because this guy can launch a three from just about anywhere on the floor. I mean, he can shoot it from all the way from here, and he'll make the shot, and it'll fall in the basket all the way in Portland. I mean, that's just how great of a shooter he is. He's a pure marksman. But I think he wants to keep that good boy image, right? If you're him, you don't want to say too much. You just want to let your agent figure things out for you. And I read the report that his agent came out and said, well, he wouldn't be happy if he didn't go to Miami. He would be very unhappy if he lands someplace else. Well, I mean, hey, you would be unhappy then. You don't always get your way all the time. Now, I think Miami's a great fit for him. We've heard that Miami is a preferable spot for him because they've been mentioned in rumors, and Damian Lillard wants to play for the Miami Heat next season. I believe we are all well aware of that fact. From the moment he requested a trade, the Miami Heat were one of the rumored destinations, and news quickly, popped up that he wanted to go to Miami, like only Miami. Like he ruled out everybody else and said, I want to go to Miami. I think Lillard has put himself and the Blazers in an interesting spot because he is not a free agent, which means he doesn't have the freedom to choose where he wants to go. So, do you think that they'll get a deal done for him? What's going to happen with Damian Lillard? Because I can see this whole thing getting real ugly.
Can I respond to one of your viewers on this live real quick?
Sure.
Can you click on the Wire to Wire podcast one real quick? Yes, a basement franchise. We're talking about an organization that has been irrelevant for how long? I mean, good God, we was talking about trust the process. You haven't won a championship in how long, Gene? I mean, you're depending on the guy and Joel Embiid has been irrelevant. I mean, I'm just saying, bro, it's okay. Just come put on the purple and gold. You won't be irrelevant. That's what I had to say. Now, speaking of Dame, Jonathan, Dame got to go. Portland organization had to do whatever they have to do to get this man out of Portland. This man has put this team on his back for how long? The least that they can do. I mean, the least they can do is facilitate a trade.
Facilitate a trade. Absolutely.
But give this man what he wants. If this man want a cookie,
it's gotta be the right situation though. You don't just trade him.
No.
You gotta get some value for him.
No, you don't. It's Miami. If this man want a cookie, if this man wants this, if he want that, he want this, he want that, you give it to him.
I don't know about that one.
Why not? How many years have he put this team on his back, Jonathan?
I understand that, but just because you put the team on your back don't mean you just trade him anywhere because he says, hey, I want to go to Miami. No, it don't work like that. I got to look out for our future as well. As the general manager, if I'm the general manager of the Portland Trail Blazers,
what future?
I'm looking out for my future. I'm looking out because I want the best pieces in return because I know it's hard to get players to play in Portland. For one, I'm trying to get the best pieces in return.
What future do we have? Do they have? They have no future. They keep promising Dame, we'll build a team around you win. We'll build a team around you.
And they haven't. I get that.
So what future do they have? Nobody wants to go to Portland.
You better get some of the best assets in return because you might not have that chance to get them in free agency. That's all I'm saying. So you can't just be stupid and just trade Damian Lillard anywhere and not get anything in return. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Gene, let me know when we send you the link because I can get Jonathan to send you the link. We'll make this the 4 Musketeers. Just saying.
Let me address this comment real quick. Manny chimes in. My good friend Manny, a follower, a viewer of mine. He's the next Sean Bradley. I think he might be a bust overhyped. He's talking about Wembanyama. I don't like that comparison. Sean Bradley was just a waste of space. A big, tall giant that just stood there. It's not going to be a tall giant that just stands there. I mean, he's gonna give you some offense. He's going to play defense. He's going to swat shots. He's going to look intimidating. He has a good wingspan, like I mentioned earlier. He's not going to be no Sean Bradley. I don't see that. Gene says, wanted to give you a view on both platforms. Appreciate you, Gene. Gene knows your stuff. Gene knows his stuff. Gene is somebody that I look up to. I'm very inspired by Gene. Gene is, man.
Hey,
Gene,
so Fred, they should Miami should just throw him to so Portland should just throw Miami away, huh? Just throw Dame to Miami. Like if Miami said they want 4 first-round picks or 3 first-round picks. So if I'm getting those 3 first-round picks, we got a deal. If I'm Portland, if I'm getting my 3 first-round picks, which is Miami doing all they could to try to get Dame. And if I get my 4 first-round picks, it doesn't matter what your team it is, I'm sending Dame. I'm actually
Hey, I want Gene on this show. Gene, what do I?
Oh my God!
What do I have to do? What do I have to? You know what? Never mind. I'm sorry. He has an
interview. He could come on. He has an open invitation to come on our show on my show anytime.
Hey, Gene gotta get some sleep, bro. He gotta get he needs to sleep. I'm gonna let him pass this time. But if he didn't have that, I would have him on.
Oh, he gotta be up bright and early for y'all morning show. Good morning coffee, right?
Yeah, we have it playing tomorrow's Fun Day Friday. They're playing Jeopardy tomorrow.
Oh, nice. That sounds fun, actually.
Yeah, so
that sounds very fun.
You should come on in the morning.
I would if I could, but I got a busy morning in the morning. Next week, I'll be available some mornings to come on with you. I can't promise every morning because, I got my 2-year-old. I got my dad duties. I got things going on. But, hey, if I could come on that show every day, I'll be there. I'll be there for sure. Hey, any more topics we want to get into, guys? Any more NBA
I
topics?
got one.
Go ahead, Freddie.
Hey, it better not be about the Lakers.
Oh, it's about them. It's about
them.
It's about them.
Oh God!
Do you agree?
Here we go.
Me?
I knew at some moment when Freddie jumped on here, it would become a Lakers show. I just knew it would.
See, that's why that it's a travesty that Freddie can't have you on the Lakers show on Sunday.
He is gonna be on it.
Oh, okay. You can't have a Lakers show without Jonathan, man. You can't do that, Freddie.
I'm coming on this Sunday.
Do you agree with me that the Lakers won free agency by far? Like won free agency?
Yes, they won free agency. Who disagrees with you?
Everybody I keep talking to thinks I'm crazy because I'm like, man.
I said y'all won free agency. Y'all won free agency.
Here come trust the process.
No. Gene says that the Lakers didn't win free agency.
Because
I'll tell you why they won free agency. They won free agency for one because they signed Gabe Vincent, who went off in the playoffs with the Miami Heat. I mean, you saw how well he played. Like he had a breakout postseason with the Miami Heat. So now you add another shooter because the guy can shoot, he can score. I don't know if a lot of people know this. He's also from California, so he came home as well. You were able to re-sign Austin Reeves. That's huge for you. Austin Reeves, he had some big moments in the playoffs. There was some games where he went off and scored 30 points. I like his poise. I like his energy. He's an energetic two-way player. He can do it on both ends of the floor. He's very aggressive. So that was a great signing as well. A lot of people say that was a cheap deal, actually, that he was actually deserving of more money. A lot of people did say that. I thought the Lakers did good. I thought it was a grade A offseason for the Lakers. With everything
I'm going even better than you, Jonathan. I think it's a grade A plus all season for the Lakers. You mean to tell me you bring in a Gabe Vincent to upgrade from Dennis Schroeder? That's an A. You bring in we lose Troy Brown, but we bring in a Prince. That's an A plus move. You lose Mo Bamba, but you get then you get a Jackson Hayes. That's improved. You get Austin Reeves on a steal. That's an A+ move. You bring Rui back on a good contract, steal. Then you bring in D'Angelo Russell, a guy that was making $37 million last year, and you sign him on a way less contract this year. So this way in the season, if we want to make a trade, we can make a trade. So we talking about steals all over the board. And guess what? We've known the Lakers to go make the big prize, to go out there and make the go get the flashy move. This would have been an all season normally where they go out and just put all their chips in to get a Damian Lillard. But guess what? They kept chemistry. And guess what? They got built
chemistry.
depth.
Right, but you know what's holding them back? It's one player. It's LeBron James. It's LeBron James. They won free agency. We won the offseason, but can they win the regular season? Can they win in the playoffs? That's the question. And if LeBron is going to slow down the team and not help the team get better and not going to facilitate and not going to be that finisher late in the game, then I mean, what does
Gene, can you send me that duct tape, please? I need the duct tape. Listen here, Jonathan. I don't want to hear no blasphemy.
I'm just saying, Gene will probably agree with me on that one.
Jonathan, you're supposed to be the sports judge, not the sports blasphemy. The sports judge, not the sports blasphemy, because that was nothing that came out your mouth to say that LeBron James is going to hold this team back. If anybody's going to hold it back, it's Anthony Davis. If anybody's going to hold him back, listen,
it's both of them. Anything,
listen, you can't celebrate them 1 minute and then you can't turn on them 1 minute. See, you rooted for them, you supported them when they won the championship. Now you talk down on them. See, last year those two led us to the Western Conference Final because people like you, Jonathan, said that the Lakers season was done. But when we pulled off the trade and we went on the run, you was praising them on a high horses, just high horses. We went to the Western Conference Finals, bro. And guess what? We barely got swept. If LeBron didn't not tear his tendon in his foot, if he did not tear his tendon in his foot,
man, he keep saying a tendon in his foot.
That's facts.
He averaged 27 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds. And you want to talk about a darn tendon in the man's foot?
Coach,
get a man an excuse. Come on, man.
Coach, be honest with me, sir, real quick. Did LeBron look the same in the Western Conference Finals?
Yeah, he looked old. He looked like 38-year-old LeBron.
So him missing layups, him missing a wide open dunk, him shooting all those threes. That was. No,
it wasn't nothing wrong with his tello tendon.
No. I'm asking.
I still think the Lakers need younger superstars. They got the role players. They just need younger superstars.
So what's
all I'm saying.
So
they need players that's going to be reliable.
Jonathan. Hold on, Jonathan.
I've been reiterating that all during the regular season, the postseason.
Hold on, damn it.
And off season.
Hold on, damn it. If we win this year, what are you gonna say?
If we win this year,
John, do you believe y'all gonna win the final, go to the finals and win this year?
I mean, I think they could come out of the West, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. But I think, look, the big question is, can LeBron stay healthy?
The big question, can Anthony Davis be healthy? That's the big question.
Well, if you had let me finish, I was gonna say Anthony Davis after LeBron James. Because I'm with you on Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is so damn brittle and fragile that the man could never stay healthy. But LeBron has been dealing with health issues lately as well, even though he's more durable and reliable than Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis is not as durable or reliable as LeBron James. But they both need each other. And I told you that before, Freddie. Both of those guys depend on each other heavily to win basketball games.
But guess what, Jonathan? Rob Pelinka was in. Take that comment off the screen, Jonathan. Take it off. You giving them the benefit of the doubt. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, Jonathan. That's why Rob Pelinka was in his bag. That's why Rob Pelinka is going to be the executive of the year because he built a roster around these guys. If AD go down, that LeBron still have supporting cast around him. Well, if LeBron go down, AD still have a supporting cast around him. So this is why the depth is very important. And we haven't even spoken of Cam Reddish yet. Cam Reddish is going to be a stud this year. He's going to be a stud this year. Do you remember a few years ago when we got Malik Monk, when people was writing him off in Charlotte? And guess what happened? Guess what happened? We rejuvenized his career.
Well, see, that's the thing with Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish, you can't. He can become a. He can revitalize his career with the Lakers, and the reason I say this is because look who they have. Phil Handy. Phil Handy is good with developing players, and he's good helping players improve their game. So having him over on the sideline to coach him and to help with his shot and his playmaking and all that, that's going to make Cam Reddish a better player. If it doesn't, then you can basically say Cam Reddish is not going to be good in this league.
Oh, Malik Monk.
But I think Phil Handy can unlock
exactly. Mike said Malik Monk had a great career at Charlotte. You smoking? No, there was people that wasn't willing to pay Malik Monk. That's the reason why he left. He didn't want to leave Charlotte. They wasn't. I mean, he went to LA. Then this guy was putting up 15, 20 points a game, and he
really did his thing last season with the Kings.
Yeah, and then we seen what happened. Then we seen what happened with Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker had an amazing season last year. I just hated that we couldn't get no playing time out of him. But now, Man, Gene need to go to sleep. He got an interview in the morning, man. Gene, go to sleep, bro.
The Lakers brought in some quality. I shall admit that. But they also some boom or bust pieces. The Suns won the free agency in my eyesight. They signed more dependable, solidifying role players.
Hey, I don't know. How can the Phoenix Suns win anything when they don't even, who's their point guard? Can somebody tell me who's their point guard?
To me, they don't have enough depth. That's my biggest concern with them.
Who's running point? I need to know that.
Who's gonna also play defense? That's another big question, right? That's a legitimate question.
But guess what? We know who didn't win free agency. Oh, my bad. They did. Jonathan, I'm going to tell you something that you didn't know, sir. I'm going to tell you something that you didn't know.
What's up?
This happened in the NBA the other day. This is the best thing ever happened. Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, Steph Curry, Isaiah Thomas, Stockton, all these great point guards, Gary Payton, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard joined the Philadelphia 76ers. They got their point guard of the future. They got their superstar and down there in Philadelphia. So Joel Embiid, let James Harden go. It don't matter. They got their point guard in Patrick Beverley. The savior is on the way.
Hey Freddie, how you said they don't want to put no blame on Joel Embiid, huh?
They sure know they don't put no blame on Joel Embiid. They blame Ben Simmons, they blame Markelle Fultz, they blame Tobias Harris, they blame everybody but Joel Embiid. They'll blame the milkman. They blame the milkman.
Freddie, something else, man. Freddie, you something else, man. Hey, before we get out of here, we're gonna get to the last topic. I got a star bench cut for y'all. And Freddie, this gonna get Freddie fired up right here.
Oh,
Freddie might leave the set. Let me just throw that out there. Start bench cut. This is the three players: Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant.
Which one you want me to start first? Which one you want to do first? Start, bench, or cut? Which one you want to do first?
I'm doing start.
Which one do you want me to do first? Start, bench, or cut first?
I'm going first. Let me go first.
Okay.
So start. I'm starting Michael Jordan.
There we go.
I'm benching Kobe. And I'm cutting LeBron.
Ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a great night.
I knew that would happen. You already know who Jonathan Goat is. You know who his Goat is.
My goat is Michael Jordan.
Yeah, you already know.
I got the shoes. I got the shoes to prove it.
Yeah.
I got the pictures behind me to prove it. Michael Jordan was the man. Never lost the finals. All his championship games were decided in 6 games. Never needed a game 7 to decide the outcome.
Listen.
He did it in a more physical era. He did it all with one team. He didn't bounce around the league. He didn't chase championships. He didn't have to join super teams to win. Yes, he has Scottie Pippen. I know. That's what everybody's argument is. Oh, well, he has Scottie Pippen. Okay, but did he have Ray Allen? Did he have Dwayne Wade? Did he have Chris Bosh? Did he have Mike Miller? No.
Is it my turn?
And Kobe Bryant is going on my bench because Kobe emulated MJ's style of play, and Kobe helped the Lakers win 5 championships, and to justify that, he won 2 without Shaq. I rest my case. Mic dropped.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you very good.
Listen, see, my mic got broke after you dropped some BS like that, okay? So the question is, which one do you want me to start with? Do you want me to start with the start, the bench, or the cut? Which one?
Start. We'll start with the start.
The start, I'm starting Kobe Bean Bryant. This dude, yes, he emulated Michael Jordan, but guess what? He improved his game. He did it better than Michael Jordan. He did it better. He did it with less help than Michael Jordan. And he was a winner. And then the bench. I got a bench to go. And I'm talking about
how did he win with less help when he had Shaq, Robert Horry, Rick Fox, Derek Fisher?
That's what, 3 years after that.
And then Paul Gasol when they won back-to-back years in 2009.
Yeah, Lamar Odom. You can't underestimate Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom is pretty good.
Jonathan, do you realize the teammates that Kobe had after the Shaq eras? Smush Parker was his teammate. Conway Brown. Jordan Farmer. But like
and how dare you say you're gonna bench MJ? I mean, cut MJ from the team. You're gonna cut MJ from the team?
I sure am.
Hey, and by the way, Freddie, you should know Pippen wasn't never a top 10 player in the NBA.
Pippen couldn't even win a championship.
He wasn't a top 10. He was never.
They needed each other. It's kind of like the LeBron AD situation.
Let me explain myself.
Guys need each other to win. They can't win without each other.
Hold on, let me explain myself. I'm benching the GOAT. I got a bench to go. And who's the GOAT, you may ask? The King. King James. The King James version. LeBron James. He's the GOAT. I mean, the guy's been in the league 21 years, still on top of the game, still the best player in the game.
I'm ready to end this show.
Gosh.
No, I'm ready to end. I'm ready to cut
He's ready to make Jonathan end of the show.
I'm ready to cancel this show. End this show for the night.
And I want to ask all the viewers a question. What was Michael Jordan doing before Scottie Pippen got there? I'll wait. He was getting swept, getting beat out the first round. He was getting knocked up. He was getting beat, swept. I mean, he wasn't doing anything.
Even when Pippen was on
he's never lost the finals. Hey, the last time I checked, Michael Jordan never lost the finals.
But guess what, John?
Who
did they play? Who did he have to play?
LeBron James lose? How many finals
Quite
games
a bit.
did he lose?
Quite a bit. But guess what, Jonathan?
And Michael Jordan's never lost any.
In Jordan's era, the championships they won, they didn't play anybody.
They didn't play anybody?
They didn't play anybody.
They didn't play the Lakers. They didn't play the Lakers. 91. They didn't play the Lakers.
They didn't play.
That doesn't matter. They didn't play the Lakers, and they won.
They didn't play a
Kareem-
historically good Phoenix Suns team in
The
1993.
Phoenix Suns was great, a great team with Charles Barkley, Dan
me
Harmon,
They
explain.
didn't play a very,
Kevin
very
Johnson.
good
Kevin Johnson
back-to-back
was a great
Utah
team.
Jazz team that came
Can I
out of the West
explain?
in
Can I
back-to-back
explain?
years,
Can I explain? Hold on, listen.
led by John Stockton
That Laker
and
team,
Karl Malone.
that Laker team they played, it was against Magic Johnson with Vlade Divac. Kareem wasn't even there. He was old. He's old.
They
They
wasn't
didn't
a whole
play a
team. They
very
were 28. They were
They
28,
didn't play a
29
very
years
good
old. They wasn't old.
Supersonics team. They didn't play a very good Supersonics
They played
team.
Utah twice.
Gary
Utah
Payton.
was a 67-win team.
and
Utah was
Sean
a
Kemp.
67-win
Michael
team,
Jordan
literally.
did not have to go through the things like LeBron had to
Freddie,
go
you're
through.
talking
Michael
to
Jordan
LeBron,
was
hold on,
a
one at a time.
Freddie, listen to
LeBron
me.
at
You're
a
talking
young
to a guy who was growing up in the 90s who saw all those games.
Jonathan.
You're talking to a
Jonathan,
guy
listen,
who saw
Jonathan.
Michael Jordan's career throughout the night.
Listen, LeBron at a young age had a Boston Celtics team to create a super team just to beat him. KG, Rondo, Ray Allen, Garnett. Let's not forget about that.
Again, he also played with top 5 players at each position that they were.
That's not to mention the teams he had to face.
He played with top 5 players.
Who was ever top 5 player? Who?
Dwayne Wade wasn't a top 5 shooting guard in the league, or a top 5 shooting guard at his position. Chris Bosh.
No, you
Chris
said
Bosh.
player. You said player. He was not.
No, he was in the top 10. He was a top 10.
No, he
Scottie
was not.
Pippen.
No,
Yes,
no.
he was. Scottie Pippen wasn't never top 10.
He was top
He was
3.
never a top 10 player.
He was top 3.
Who?
Scottie.
No, he wasn't. He was never a top 3 player in the league. He was never a top 3 player. He was never a top 3 player or a
Dwayne
top
Wade has
2
never
player.
been a top 5 player.
He was so
Dwayne Wade was always a
underappreciated.
top 10 though. He was always
He
a
was-
top 10 guy.
Top
He
10,
was a
yes.
very unappreciated player. He was
Chris
underpaid.
Bosh was never
He
top
was
5.
grossly. He
At
was
his
gross-
position though, he was number 1. He was top 2 in his position, along with Kevin Love. At their position, they were the top
You
at
still
their
had
position.
Dirk Nowitzki. You still had Tim Duncan.
He was
you
top
still
5 in his position. He
you
was
still
top
had
5 in his
KG.
position.
You still had KG. He was not top 5. Yep, Al Gasol. No, coach, I'm not.
Paul Gasol was an all-star. He was an
Freddie,
all-star.
let's just admit it. Let's just
Chris
admit
Bosh
that
wasn't a
you're
superstar.
bisexual.
Chris
You're
Bosh
wrong.
in Toronto, he was. Toronto, he was a superstar at Toronto.
I'm talking about in Miami.
Yo, because he had to sacrifice his offense. He had to sacrifice
It
his
is what
offense.
it is. He wasn't top 5. He
Can
wasn't a
you
superstar.
please? Can you?
When you
please
play with
just-
LeBron, you're gonna have to
please
sacrifice your
confess-
offense.
Can you please confess already and just say you a Bron sexual?
I'm a Laker fan, and guess what, John?
No, you're a Bron sexual. That's what you
No,
are.
I'm not. I'm really not. Because at the end of the day, when he leave purple and gold, guess what? He just gonna be LeBron James to me. And you just mad because people. I don't know what's wrong with people. People act like that Jordan can't get moved off the list. They act like what he's
He
done.
can.
Is set.
He's the
Yes, he
undisputed
can.
GOAT.
Yes, he can, Jonathan.
Not
See,
off
people
my
like
list.
you. See, I'm gonna tell you.
And
people-
if he ain't in somebody's top 5 list, then I can't take you seriously. I just can't.
I'm gonna tell
I'm
you.
not gonna take you seriously.
This is what Jonathan do. Jonathan's the type of person. If he
I can't acknowledge a list that doesn't have Michael
Jonathan,
Jordan on it.
hold
At
on,
least
Jonathan.
in the top 5.
Jonathan, he's in my top 5. He's number 4. Jonathan,
Well, put him in your top 3.
he's not that good. Jonathan. Jonathan, I want to explain something to you real quick. I want to explain something. I want to explain to people who Jonathan Mathis is real quick. Jonathan Mathis is a really good guy. He gets up every morning, get ready to go to work. He gets in his car, his beautiful car, paid off, by the way. Sorry that you had to get a tire, but it's paid off. Jonathan to get in the car, he drive down the street.
Don't mind him. Don't mind him. He don't know nothing. Don't mind him. Don't mind him.
He
Don't
goes
mind him.
he goes to the same donut place every day. But this one day that they change the donut shop, they change it to a smoothie shop. He don't want to give the smoothie people any chance. He don't like change. He wants the same routine every day.
Even
every
RC
day.
agrees with me. MJ greatness is simply undeniable.
RC, thank you for tuning in and supporting my brother Jonathan. But it's okay to be wrong sometimes. It's okay to be wrong
He's
sometimes.
not wrong. He's correct.
He's wrong.
He's 100% correct. It's accurate. That statement's accurate. Michael Jordan is the GOAT, whether you like it or not. You can say LeBron's the GOAT. I will be polite enough to say this. LeBron is the GOAT of this generation. You've heard me say that repeatedly.
I got something better for you, Jonathan.
I can even say that Jordan don't even make my top 5. I can make a debate about that. Kobe, LeBron, Kareem, Magic, Shaq,
You put Shaq over Jordan.
Wilt, Bill Russell. I can make arguments for all of that.
This is hilarious. This is comical.
Shaq not even better than Hakeem Olajuwon. He not even better than
I didn't say
You
I was.
make that argument.
I didn't say I was going to do that.
Hakeem Olajuwon is the most dominant center because
didn't
he
say-
was more versatile. He could knock down difficult shots. Shaq couldn't.
I didn't say I was going
Shaq
to do
was
it.
more aggressive around the rim because he had the size and the size advantage, and he had the ability to dunk over people.
I didn't say I was going to do that, but like my dude Cal said in the comments, it is past my bedtime.
Because you putting them to sleep right now.
Everyone laughing at you, but guys, man, hey, it's been a great show. We gotta wrap it up now. We gotta do final thoughts before we get out of here.
We got some good news, Jonathan. Did you hear the GOAT?
Something at the bit says it's past Freddie's bedtime.
Yeah, because of that blasphemous he's talking. So he said it's past his bedtime.
Sports judge.
I think that's a great indication that we need to wrap up this show.
We got some good news though. Did you hear your boy, your favorite player yesterday? What he said? Did you hear what he said?
Who?
Your favorite player at the SB said he's not retiring, LeBron. So that's good for us.
I'm a Laker fan. It's not all about whose name's on the back of the jersey. For me, it's all about who's on the front of the jersey. So, hey, regardless of who's on the team, I'm a fan no matter what.
Tell him, Jonathan, you ain't no fanboy. You ain't no cheerleader, huh?
I'm not no fair-weather fan. I'm a Laker fan, die hard. And Manny says Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the GOAT. A lot of people say that as well. You could make that argument too. I mean, it's all subjective, really, when you think about it. It's all based on a person's preference, and I don't think there's really a right or wrong answer to it. But I feel, to me, Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, and no one comes close. But before we get out of here, you guys want to give your final thoughts, and I thank you guys for joining the show tonight. I thank you, Freddie, for coming on, and I thank Coach Dante as well.
I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to Freddie, man, for having me to host again on the morning show. I'm so happy to be a part of the Empire Sports Network, man. And Freddie, recruiting me and trusting my ability, it got to start with Freddie, man. Freddie, appreciate it. You've been the brother since we first met, so I appreciate you for bringing me in and giving me an opportunity. I'm having so much fun, a part of this network, and get to know Jonathan, guys like you, Dylan, Gene, Key been with me since day one. So other than that, appreciate y'all, man. And again, we need to stop letting Joel Embiid off the hook, man. If he's going to be a top 3 player, we need to treat him like a top 3 player. At what point he's going to show up in a playoff series? So we need to stop trying to make up every excuse for this man. We need to try to stop blaming the coaching staffs. Stop trying to blame Ben Simmons, rightfully so, but nobody want to put out there those 8 turnover games that he had in that playoff series versus the Hawks. Nobody want to put out there about how he shut down in Game 4, when he wasn't scoring, and PJ Tucker had to curse him out. Nobody had wanted to go back to that game since when he went scoreless as well, and nobody went to Game 4 when James Harden actually won them that game in Game 4. He was the reason why they actually got up out of there and even won that game. Yes, he played the worst game in Game 7, but Joel Embiid didn't do it either. So, and this has been all through Joel Embiid's career. He hasn't played well in the playoffs. We need to start holding that guy accountable more and stop looking at the coaching staff. And when you had a great roster in Jimmy Butler, who was another go-to guy, but you decide to average 17 points per game in that Toronto series. And yes, the team was good enough because obviously they win 7 games. They went 7 games with Boston. They went 7 games with Toronto. And they also played Miami in 6 before Joel Embiid not decided to show up in the playoffs. So we need to start putting this man and busting him and holding him accountable because Philadelphia's starting to run out of excuses. They really are. They really are.
No, thank you, Manny. Thank you for watching the show. Freddie, you got any final thoughts before we get out of here? And please don't give us an essay. I'm trying to get out of here.
Jonathan, I should be the one to be ready to go because it's almost 12 o'clock my time. It's still a little bit earlier than your time. But hey, just shout out to you guys. One of the hardest working men I know in this industry. Just keep grinding, brother. Just keep pushing. Because that's absolutely what we're gonna do over here at the Empire. So um, got a lot of good things, got a lot of big things coming down. So shout out to Dylan. He represents you. He represents Sports Empire and many other platforms. But yeah, we're gonna keep pushing our content.
Yes, great opportunities have presented itself, and let's just keep working, guys. Let's just keep doing our thing. It's been a pleasure working with you, Coach, and Freddie. And Freddie has unlocked my great potential in all of this. Freddie has stood by my side in all of this, and Freddie has been a great support system, a great friend, a great brother, someone I can talk to on a regular basis as well. So I want to thank you, Freddie, and Freddie, keep up the great work. And Coach Dante, you keep grinding. I'm gonna call you the Iron Man. I'm gonna call you the Iron Man because you never take days off. You keep going. You stay consistent, and you always put in the work. So that's your new nickname to me, Coach Iron Man, man. And I want to thank our viewers out there for watching as well. Great stuff. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your night, investing time, and watching the show. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Great stuff.
Time out.
We'll do this again, guys.
Hold on,
what
Jonathan.
you got for us, Freddie?
Damien, don't you ever put up no comment like that again, sir. You've been running from me for how long? I haven't seen you in months.
Told you don't mind him.
Yeah, he been running from me. Stop it.
Is that it?
That's
Before
it.
we get out of here?
That's
All right, guys. Well, this has been another episode of Speaking with Judgment with your boy, the sports judge, Coach Dante and Freddie. For myself, Coach Dante and Freddie, you guys have a good night. Have a wonderful night. Peace. Take care. We'll talk again very, very soon. Have a good night, everyone.